What's up, guys? Welcome back. Another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. Today we have another special episode. It's going to be a little bit different here. It's going to be one of those hybrid formats where we're going to be doing audio and video. So if you're interested in seeing the video version of this, please check us out on YouTube. I'll have the link in the description of this podcast for you to go check that out. It's on YouTube. Until we get our subscriber count up, because we are a new channel, oftentimes that content is kind of buried when you search for Suited Kings on there. But
it won't be long.
It won't be long. Yeah, I mean, we're grinding here. So if you haven't yet, please go subscribe to our channel, find that video. Again, the link will be in this podcast description if you're listening to the audio version. So make sure to check that out. Today is going to be a study sessions reviewing a final table that I made. But before we get into that,
we're gonna make the announcement. So as we're recording, today is my last day
of being a little baby.
Of being in my 20s. Pretty much same thing, yeah. So the day this comes out, Thursday, November 7th, is my 30th birthday. So
happy early birthday to whoever's listening to this on day one. Yeah, it's Wes's birthday today. So cheer, add a little explosion or, confetti sound or anyways. But happy birthday to you. We're going to go celebrate that this week and definitely looking forward to that. Today, though, we're going to celebrate my final table run in the Global Eagle Poker Open. What do we want to call it?
Yeah, the Global Poker Eagle Cup tournament.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't familiar, on Global Poker, they have a bunch of championship series throughout the year, all kind of like animal based. So there's like the Grizzly Cup, the Eagle Cup, the Goat Cup, and the Snake Cup.
Yeah.
You got a snake so far. So if you win one of these events, there's usually hundreds to thousands, over 1,000 players in these cups, and the buy-ins range. They have about 4 events a night with trophies. And if you win one of them, Global sends you out a pretty sweet trophy. So
yeah, sometimes. I mean, I'm going to talk a little shit here right now. I've won 3 trophy tournaments on Global Poker. I've received 1 trophy. The first one I won, it was almost 3 years ago. It was February of 22. Was a Grizzly. I've emailed them about that 4 times at least. Still haven't received.
So little does Wes know, they actually changed their merchandise whole situation this year. So there's like a whole new website that he probably isn't aware of yet, that he could probably just go on and put his information in and they would send it out.
Is that true?
It's very true.
Yeah, I should probably do that. I have sent them my information 4 times though.
Yeah, so, I mean it. Also, yeah, I mean, I won the U.S. Poker Open event one.
That sounds so big. The U.S. Poker Open sounds like such a huge.
I know, right? Yeah, I won. Anyways, cool. I won. It wasn't that huge. It was nice. It was like $8K or something like that for $33 buy-in, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty juicy actually for the ROI. But anyways, that was bet last year. You have to wait until after the series is over to then request your trophy. So, anyways, I love fighting for these things. I actually did win my first Eagle earlier in this series. Wes is still fighting for his as usual.
Yeah, I final tabled another one last night. I've gotten a 3rd and a 5th so far, and they are fun. One thing that I started doing these last couple days is usually I only play the mid to higher buy-in ones, but I started playing the lower buy-ins too, and it's not like a big pile of money up top, but it's fun and it's.
I mean, it's really not. I mean, it's a big pile in terms of your buy-in. Like you said, they're low buy-in.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
The Eagle I won was an $11 buy-in with 1,160 entries.
It'd be like 150 buy-ins.
Yeah, it was 260 buy-ins. I know, math is hard. Anyways, I won. I think I cashed for 2,600.
Yeah,
260 buy-ins, right?
Yeah, 250 maybe.
Yeah,
what's 11?
Right,
yeah, whatever.
Anyway, something like that. Wes, I thought you were a robot or a calculator, like a human version.
I sometimes pretend not to be. You need to be more relatable.
Let's plug you in. All right, we'll plug you in. All right, so okay, guys, should we get into it? Or you know what? No, let's do our plugs at the end of the episode. And let's just get into this shit. What do you say?
Let's get right into it.
I'm ready to study. So this was, I believe, this Sunday. They have 8 Eagle events going throughout the day, including 125K. I actually I cashed 4 out of 6 events that day, which was a nice day for like 2,500 profit on the day. This event in the afternoon, they have 4 turbo events, 6 max turbo events, which are like, how fun is that? 6 max and turbo. I don't have to play all night, and the action's there. So
yeah,
you know me. Love my
You
action.
love the action, yeah.
So this one, I can't even remember how many entries. I want to say it was like 700 or something. I think it was a excuse me, it was a $33 buy-in, 16K guaranteed tournament.
Mhm.
Um, Going into the final table, there's 4 of us left here. How should we go about this, Wes? Should we just start writing it out?
Yeah, and just so if anyone's listening and they can, watching the video version of this is going to probably be the easiest, but we'll walk through each hand and um, how the action goes in each hand.
Yeah,
So,
and we'll discuss it and stuff. So I guess here's one thought. So our first hand that I have here, again, we're down to 5-handed. So uh, low hijack is going to be essentially under the gun, right?
yep.
So hijack has 37 big blinds. Cutoff has 18 big blinds. I'm on the button with 26 big blinds. Small blind has 12, and then the big blind has 7 big blinds. So ICM is clearly at play here. The big blind has 7 big blinds, and no one's really close besides the small blind who has just under 13.
And I have a question for you, and how when you're playing this, like how you're going about it, because ICM is definitely at play. But there's also the aspect here of like, how much does winning the trophy mean to you? And how much are you going to just say, like, screw ICM? I'm kind of going
Yeah,
for the win. Obviously, this is not like a massive buy. Like, where's your mind at when you're playing this sort of tournament?
I am always playing for the win. I am obviously ICM aware, and I will make big folds due to that if I think it's correct. But you'll see in some future hands here. So Wes is going into these hands blind, but some of these hands are one of these hands you'll see where I kind of just don't give a shit about ICM.
Hmm.
Um, in a sense. So we'll go ahead and get into it. But my first hand here, I'm dealt the 4-6 of hearts on the button. We have one bigger stack than us, so we're 2 of 5 right now. If it were to fold to us in the button, West, with a 4-6 of hearts and having 2 short stacks, are we going to be opening this?
Oh, this is true. I mean, we're either going to be jamming it or folding it.
Okay, so it's not okay. That's where my question was because we don't actually even get to that point because the essentially under the gun opens here, or or hijack, I should say, opens here. So I don't even have the opportunity to open, but I was considering before any action happened what I was going to do, obviously. So there's 7 big blinds in the big blind and 13 in the small blind. If we, yeah, I mean, chips has to be, or excuse me, the small blind opponent has to be calling off very, very tightly, like a very tight range, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I was thinking my initial thought was open to 2 big blinds and fold to the 8.25.
Yeah, I actually think you want to go the opposite route here if if it folds to you, because it's like because if you min open, you get a chance to, or your opponents get a chance to have fold equity against you. And so 6-4 suited is actually a hand that is not going to be in as much trouble a lot of the time as a hand like, King X offsuit or something.
Okay.
um, when you're called in an all in. And so you're going to want to, yeah, just like jam and maximize your fold equity. And then if you're called, your hand has, I mean, you're obviously going to be behind, but your opponents are going to have, especially the small blind here, will have to make some pretty tight folds.
Right, because of the ICM of the big stack being so short. Obviously, they want them to bust. Here's another thing too: is being a $33 buy, and it's not like it's tens of thousands of dollars of ICM. Which in terms of ICM,
That's where I'm wondering is like,
it shouldn't
do you
matter, but
mainly,
it does to humans. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah, like you're wondering people might not make full like ICM folds here. They might just be playing for the win as well. So you don't really,
yeah, I really do, and especially with this table, from what I'd noticed so far, a lot of these opponents have been very aggressive with the very shorts, with the
yeah.
real short stack in there.
In that case, I would just fold if it folds to you.
The 6-4 suited.
Yeah,
Okay. That's well, I did end up folding again,
because someone opened.
someone opened. Yeah, the big stack opened, so I just ended up folding. But I was curious, it's one of those spots where it's like, if it did fold to me, is that a spot I'd want to take or not? I mean, 6-4 suited is a pretty hand, but it's a shit hand, right?
Yes.
Especially when you're going all in trying to run equity. So if I don't have that fold equity, I like the fold as well. So next hand we have here, it folds all the way to us in the small blind. We again, the stack sizes are pretty similar here. The smallest stack has 6.3 bigs now. Folds to me in the small blind with ace of diamonds, ace of hearts. So we're, just juiced out, obviously.
Yeah.
We love life. We're trying to figure out how we can get the most out of the big blind who has 16.5 bigs. What do you think here with our stack? So we have, let's see, we have 25 bigs to start the hand. They have 16.5 to start the hand. We have pocket aces in the small blind. Do you think this is a good spot to limp and trap, or do
I
we want to rate? Because
I do
go ahead.
Yeah, I think if you're a little shorter, I would limp here. At this stack depth, I might raise to 2.5 or 2.7 or something. And, part of it is like you do want to just get some value right away. And you're also going to want to do this with a ton of weaker hands because there is a lot of ICM pressure on your opponent. So I think if you can perceive this player as someone who's going to think things through like that, like you might induce some action. You raising doesn't necessarily come across as strength.
No, it doesn't. And one thing I want to mention is I think that me raising here almost looks as not as weakness, but it looks as like me trying to apply ICM pressure because there's a very short stack. So it might trigger my opponent to shove wider. You know what I'm
A
saying?
little bit, yeah. And the only caveat is like the fact that it's aces, right? Like
Yeah,
it's so not vulnerable, and also you're blocking the hands that you want your opponent's most likely to
gonna
jam
call
with.
off with, yeah.
Like
Or
if
excuse me, jam.
jam with, yeah, like if you have kings, queens, jacks, tens, your opponent might take ace three offsuit and three bet jam on you, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, which is a good thing. And so now when you have two aces, but it's also the case where like if you have aces, he can still call your open with like a lot of, you know, just jack 10, jack 9, two connected decent cards, right? It's not like you're
I'm surprised at the action here. So,
okay.
and also I appreciate you kind of helping me out on the sizes here. So you go, I mean, what I did was I ended up opening to three bigs from the small blind. I do like 2.5 or 2.8, especially at these depths. I mean, because if I was doing this with a hand that I plan on folding, I'm just going to be saving those big blinds then.
Yeah, and for this stack depth, if there's no ICM, I think 3x is good. I think now, yeah, it's just like in general, your whole range can go a little smaller because there's going to be more fold equity.
Okay, so we open to 3x, and to my very, very pleasant surprise, the big blind stuffs in all 16.5.
Wait. Let's discuss do you want to slow roll him or do you want a snap call?
Uh, if there are maybe 2 to 3 people that I would definitely be slow rolling on here. This opponent specifically is not. I think I've never played with him, or I haven't played with him often. His name is at Chips Maxwell,
Mhm.
and he's got a great name, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Horrific.
not
Yeah.
biased or anything. If you're watching the video, you can already see what he has here, but it kind of surprises me with this. So, and you'll see why. I'll compare this to a hand that I'm about to show in the future here. But, anyways, he three bet jams king queen suited. Now, this is a spot I would obviously three bet jam most of the time, but with the 6.35 big blind stack in there,
Mhm.
do we just call with the king queen of diamonds and reassess?
Maybe. So I actually would say,
I mean, I don't mind the jam,
yeah,
but in this specific spot with there being such a short stack, is this a spot where we don't jam it?
I almost look at it the opposite way,
Okay.
where I think the short stack makes it more likely that you just want to take it down now. But I think his hand is actually one that is a good call because it's the sort of hand that can dominate a lot of your like you might open a queen four offsuit here or something,
Yep. Yep.
with the ICM pressure. And so, and his hand plays so well post flop, but also doesn't really want to get called by the jam.
Yeah. So, and those are exactly the reasons. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if I were in his spot, I would maybe land on Collier. And if it wasn't If say the short stack had, anywhere near my stack, I'd probably play it more as a 3-bet jam.
Okay. Yeah, I could see the ICM piece of it going either way.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, either way, I think this hand is gonna. It's like you can see a flop and then call a small bet on a lot of flops, and then if you have top pair, you can kind of go with it, and if you have a flush draw or open end or whatever it is, if you have a ton of equity or a very strong hand, you can just go with it. And you're in position here. You can just play so much better post flop when you're in position with this sort of hand.
You
So
want to know what's funny is we're going to see the exact situation. This pretty much not the exact situation, but a very, very similar situation again, but with a different opponent. And he
mhm,
plays it a completely different way.
yeah.
So let's go ahead and get to it here. So as if you're watching the video version, I ran out the board. It goes 4, Jack, 5, 2 clubs, and he's dead on the turn with the 2 of hearts. So we end up scooping a big pot. Now we're 1 of 4 now, which is absolutely incredible, obviously, right?
Yep.
This hand's pretty insignificant. I think it doesn't really require much explanation, as I think everybody would play this way. So it folds to me in the button. I have 42 big blinds now. The big blind it's just a lone single big blind. There we go.
Yeah.
With 6.2 big blinds, we have ace 3 off, so we just stuff it in his face.
Yep.
Standard. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. This hand gets a little bit more interesting now. So again, I'm 1 of 4. There's still a very short stack. He's now got 4.5 bigs essentially after he folds the small blind here.
Mhm.
I open in what's essentially the button, ace of hearts, 8 of diamonds to 2 bigs. What makes this interesting is the big blind has just under 40 bigs. So
Mhm.
he's second in chips. And then there's a 17 big blind stack and a 5 big blind stack, right? I think I might have misplayed this hand. So this is where I want to get your thoughts. This one is probably one of the more interesting hands of the
Okay.
final table. This is one, and in hindsight, it's one where I think I could have applied more pressure.
Okay.
So I'm
I'm
curious.
interested to see
Yeah, I'm
this.
curious
Yeah.
your thoughts. So I make it 2 big blinds on the button. Small blind folds. Big blind, C Moss, the tier, whatever his name is, ends up calling. The pot is 4.9 big blinds. The flop comes 4 hearts, king of clubs, 7 of hearts. I have ace of hearts and 8 of diamonds. So essentially, I have a backdoor straight draw, a backdoor nut flush draw, and ace high.
Yep.
Um, Nothing too crazy here. Obviously, the big blind's going to pretty much play a pure check here.
Yep.
What are we doing with the ace of hearts, 8 of diamonds?
I'm gonna bet like 30%. Just kind of the nature of the king high board, somewhat connected board, but like any king high board, I'm gonna just see bet small
Yeah,
on for
yeah.
the most
Plus,
part.
I have a lot of good turn cards that I can continue on and just apply pressure.
You can, yeah, you can, and you just get to protect your equity. And
So hands that I think would be really good on the turn here to double barrel are hands like any 6, any 5, any heart, any ace, I guess, which gives me then top pair.
yeah, I
Um,
am curious. So agreed with the heart. If like a 5 of diamonds or whatever, are you gonna barrel that? You think?
Not always, but I think in hindsight, again, this is where I think I could have applied more pressure, is
Okay.
because of there being such a short stack. It might be a good spot for me too.
Yeah, it could be.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the sort of like the turn card 5 or 6 could be the type of card where you need to fire 3 streets though.
Yeah, exactly. I would
Because
have
a
to,
lot of his
and it hits
if he has
his
an
range
open
harder.
ender, he could
Yeah.
turn the pair
Yeah.
and
Well, I mean, also I could double barrel check back, sometimes have the best hand on some rivers.
yeah, it's gonna be hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
I kind of agree. Hmm. I feel like if he calls now, he could have like a pair or a straight draw. And if one of those middling cards comes, then it could either improve his straight draws to a pair or also give his pairs a straight draw.
Yeah.
So it could mean that like you're not folding out that much on the turn, but you would be able to fold out a lot more on the river. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm curious though.
Okay. So just to remind people, I have ace of hearts, 8 of diamonds on a 4-7 king 2 heart board. Big blind checks. And you said you'd bet 30% or something?
Yeah, around 1.4 bigs or
Okay,
something.
well, let's see what I bet. Oh man,
1.6.
close. I bet 1.6 into 4.9, and we get a call from the big blind. The turn is the 10 of diamonds. Now, our opponent checks. Is this a good card for us to double on?
I would say no.
Okay.
I think so. There are a couple things that go into mind here. Is like we can still be ahead. He can have,
You
our
could have
opponent.
5, 6, 5, 8.
Yeah, there are some straight draws and flush draws where he's like not necessarily going to play back against you because you are the one stack that can bust him.
Yeah.
And obviously sometimes you're going to get bluffed on the river, but if the board pairs on the river, like sometimes you get to bluff catch with ace high, or your opponent's just going to not think it's worth it to try and bluff the bigger stack. And I'm not saying you're going to win this hand that often at showdown, but I think you're going to win sometimes. And that factor sort of takes away the incentive to bluff right
Okay.
now.
So now that I'm talking with you about this hand, it makes me feel a little bit better because we end up taking the same route. I bet
Yeah.
30% and I check back the turn.
You're going to lose to like a 4.
Oh, okay, we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
So this kind of sucks, right? The river is the 7 of diamonds, so it pairs the 7. Again, the board is 4 kings, 7, 2 hearts, 10 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. So now the board is paired with the 7. Our opponent can definitely have all of the 7s in his range for trips now.
Yes.
I can have 7s, but it's less likely being the opener. I definitely could have like 7-8 suited, 7-9 suited, 7-10 suited.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd be betting 7-10 suited on the turn.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So you take that out at this point. So any of the 7s that didn't improve to 2 pair in the turn, I could have as well, I guess. Not any of them, but not as many as our big blind friend who could probably have 7 deuce suited.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
No,
saying?
you're right.
Anyways, our opponent checks, I think. Yeah. So our opponent checks. Do we just try and get the showdown here and hope we beat straight draws?
Yeah. I'm just going to check here. Like sometimes, and the other thing that I'm keeping in mind here is like our opponent may, if we decide to go for some big bluff, we may not even get a 4 to fold. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. On this bond, especially
we're
on
kind of saying we just have a 7.
yeah. By
Which,
betting big, you saying?
yeah, which is
Yeah.
possible, but
And we shouldn't be value. I mean, do we value bet king queen here if we have that?
yeah, we totally should, but we also should have betted on the turn. Like, I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be believable that we have a king here.
Great point, because we would be betting most of our kings on the turn.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we're just kind of, our hands are tied. I think we want to take our ace high to showdown value here, which we end up doing. And Wes,
you lose the ace 9 or a 4?
no, you nailed
A
it.
4.
He has ace 4 off, so he flopped bottom pair and held. So so we lose that hand. So now we're 2 of 4, but we still have plenty of big blinds. We're 33 bigs deep. There's a 30.8 big blind stack and a 13 big blind stack in the big blind. Too many big blinds. Holy cow, I'm just tripping over my words here. So we are now 4-handed. So cutoff is going to be essentially the same thing as under the gun. I have 9, 10 of hearts. We're just always opening this on 33 bigs, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. So we open the 9, 10 of hearts to 400 bigs. I'm just kidding. We make it to 2 bigs. Folds around to Professor. He's the big blind he started the hand with 13.93, 12.93 after he put his big blind in the middle. He calls.
Okay.
The flop is a very interesting flop. Okay. So this is a very interesting hand. I'm curious how you think I played this, and I'll explain to you my thoughts. There's 4.9 big blinds in the middle. Our opponent has 12 behind. The flop is queen, deuce, jack, 1 heart. So I have an open ender, but the bottom end of an open ender with a backdoor flush draw. Do you want me to tell you what my initial thoughts are? Should I just hear what your thoughts are?
Yeah, I'll say what my thoughts are first.
Okay.
So obviously you have a lot of equity. I think it's normal to see bet here.
Okay.
There is the concern of like if we see bet and get jammed on,
do we have to fold this hand?
Yeah, it's sort of a math problem.
I thought about that as well. That was in my
And so then you can sort of lean like, do you want to check it back? Do you want to just jam right now or something? Like
Okay. You got that smirk on your face like you know what I'm gonna do.
Well, the jam right now thing is like for some reason my spidey senses are going off. Like, is that what you did here? And I guess the goal with that would be to like if you jam now, you get to fold out like a king 10 that actually kind of dominates you.
I mean, he might also fold a jack, like
He
a
might fold
gross
a
jack.
jack,
Yeah,
yeah.
and again, the reason he might be folding these hands, guys, is because there's less than a 4 big blind stack in the table.
Yeah,
So
like he's really incentivized to not get fourth place right now. And even if he doubles through you, then you two are going to have similar stacks and someone's going to have almost twice as much as you guys. So it's not like doubling up just gives them a lock on the tournament or anything.
not at all, not at all. So, your spidey senses once again are correct,
Yeah.
Wes. I just stuff it in his face. Again, so there's 4.9. He has 12 behind.
And you just go all
I'm
in.
thinking about it, and I'm like, my initial thought was, I don't want to C bet, have him jam, and then try and just fold all my equity here.
Yeah.
That's gross. Secondly, there's such a short stack, and ICM is actually important at this point that I can get him to fold a bunch of hands that dominate me.
Yeah. And even like even if he has a jack and he's like, I think I'm ahead a lot here, he also probably knows you have a hand that's gonna have some like good equity where it's not necessarily great for him to get it in against. I mean,
No, and honestly, like he's got to be folding almost everything that's not like or two pair better. You know what I mean? Like so, like if he somehow has like queen five suited, he'll probably go with it or something like that.
yeah, yeah, like top. I think any top pair
Yeah,
should
any
probably go
top
with
pair, I
it,
guess.
but
But yeah, any. So again, guys, the board is queen, jack, deuce. I have 9, 10 of hearts. There's also a heart on board for a backdoor flush draw potential. He checks. I stuff in 12 big blinds into a 5 big blind pot, something I typically wouldn't do. But because of the ICM and because because I don't want to check fold all this equity, I guess I could check back too. Again, but I want to apply pressure here with that short stack. It felt like the optimal play. Do you think that's right here or not?
it's hard to say because so here's one thing that
What would you have done? Your time
I
bank's clicking.
yeah, I might have actually done the same thing. I don't know. I don't man, it's hard to say. It is hard to say what the best play is. One thing that kind of goes in the other direction is I think sometimes people will find this spot where it's like, oh, I have a draw, but if I bet and get jammed on, I have to fold. So I should just bet bigger. So then I have to call it off. And it's like, well, you're in that sense, you're the reason you get to fold when you bet small is because it's actually better than getting it all in. But I think the difference here is you're
There's
actually giving yourself more fold equity by betting large.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I agree with you 100%, but having that 3.7 big blind stack in there changes all of it. There's an added incentive to making it big.
Yeah, 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 totally. I think it's different in this spot, but I am saying like there are maybe not even in this specific situation, but I think as a general thing, people will sometimes when they have an okay drawing hand, they'll bet big so that they're sort of pricing themselves into call if they're jammed on, and they're thinking like, oh, this way I'm not making a mistake by calling off. But it's like, well, when you call off, like if you get it all in,
Mhm.
cards face up,
Mhm.
that that's the same situation regardless of how big you bet, you know?
Yep.
And so if you bet small and get jammed on and you have to fold a draw, the reason you have to fold like you don't literally have to fold it, but the reason you should is because it's the better option than being all in, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Where
But
you're just not gonna hit your draw as much, you're gonna be bust a lot, etc.
yeah, but in this case, I think your play does give you like the big bet gives you more than just getting to see the run out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right,
It
right. It
gives you a
gets them
lot
to
more
fold better
fold
hands.
equity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's a sort of thing where it's like if you bet small, you'll get called by the king 10, king 9, the jack X, maybe ace deuce or whatever.
yep.
And then yes, you can sometimes bluff turns, but they're going to be bad turns cards. You know, whereas now he should fold out a deuce, he should fold king 9, king 10, a jack like maybe, you
Yeah,
know.
I think there's some jacks you'd fold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely do, especially with that 4 big I mean, again, this is only because of that less than 4 big blind stack in there,
Yeah.
right? So I don't expect him to fold any of those hands, nor would I have played it this way if that opponent wasn't in this hand still, or in
Mhm.
this tournament still, I should say. Um, so let's bounce back now. Do you remember the hand with the king, queen of diamonds versus my aces?
Oh, I do, I do.
So this is where our opponent chose to play it differently. He didn't squeeze pre-flop on me. He
Mhm.
flatted the king queen of clubs, and you can see in the video here. I'm talking about this opponent here by So
Yeah.
yeah, in the video here, he ends up making the call with king queen of clubs and holds.
It's interesting. It looks like he didn't even snap call.
No, he didn't. He
Yeah.
he thought about it for a
Which
little bit.
if he was truly not snap calling with that, I think it means your jam was really good. Like he would have folded a jack.
For sure. He
If he
definitely
was
tanked with king queen. I mean, I had enough time to discuss my thoughts on like why I was making that play. So
yeah. And so you don't get there unfortunately, but
I do not get there, and we're down to 19 bigs, and that opponent has 29 bigs, and now there's still a 4 big blind stack and a 37 big blind stack.
yeah.
Very next hand, just to kind of keep things moving here. Um, this, I mean, this one actually kind of, this hand I feel like is pretty standard. Under the gun, or cutoff essentially, the 4 big blind stack bets 3 big blinds of his 3.7 big blinds. We have queen 10 of hearts in the big blind. We always just put them in and run it, right?
Yep.
On 20 bigs. Okay, so that's what happens. And unfortunately, sorry, I went too fast there. We lose the ace deuce off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It
just what it
feels
is.
yeah.
It just sucks because we went from chip leader and then all of a sudden half our stack's gone and we're third in chips and the short stack doubled.
Yeah, that happens in
It
tournaments.
does. It does. So, the good news, the good news to all this is, I think the very next hand or very close to the next very hand. Yeah, a couple hands later, um, button jam sixes, small stack calls off with a7, sixes hold. So now we're down to 3-handed. This is another hand I wanted to ask you about. It's now 3-handed. I'm on the button here with 14 and a half bigs and 7-8 of hearts. I'm now the shortest stack by a large margin. It's 35 or 36 bigs and 37 bigs to the other two opponents. Do
Mhm.
we just jam 7-8 of hearts here for 15 bigs, or do we open fold?
So I think
Sorry, I
I
meant open and then fold
open
to a
in the
jam.
yeah, I actually think I would probably jam, but if I had to pick a second option, I would limp.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's tell me more about that. I'm interested because that wasn't even in my playbook.
Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't really studied this stuff at all, but just my instincts say like 15 big blinds here. We're on the button and there's no small blind. So like we only have one opponent here.
Yep.
This is a hand we're going to want to if we open it, we're going to fold to a jam,
Yep.
right?
Yep. So yeah, if
So
I
if
were to
we
make it 2 big blinds, I'd fold and then keep 12 behind or whatever.
yeah, and the way I'm looking at it is like this is a hand that is going to play pretty well post flop.
Yeah.
So we actually benefit from having a bigger SPR.
Okay. On the reverse side of that, I also think it kind of plays. I mean, it doesn't play great as an all in hand, but the reason it does is because if we do get called, oftentimes we're going to have 40% equity.
Yeah, and like I said, I would jam it. I prefer a jam, but if I had
Okay.
to choose between a min raise and a limp, I would actually go with limp here.
Okay.
And I would do the same, with big pair, like have some big pairs and then have some like playable hands that we would fold to a jam.
Okay. So I jam, he folds, and now we pick up the beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
pocket kings. I'm open at 2 on the button essentially now. We get the okay. So this is actually, I'm going to pause this here because this hand's important.
Mhm.
I make it 2 big blinds off my 15 and a half bigs.
Yeah.
The big blind calls off 36 big blinds. We get the jack 4 flop. There's 4.8 bigs in the middle. What do we
Mhm.
do here when the big blind checks?
I'm going to bet one big blind.
You're going to bet 1 big?
Yeah.
Is that only because of the board texture? There's just nothing for us to worry about other than a jack, pretty much?
Yeah, it's board texture. Like I'm just going to
If
bet.
our opponent had 4s, he would have jammed on us pre-flop, I assume.
Agreed. And same with, I guess, just ace jack probably.
Ace jack would have jammed on us. Maybe even king jack of the suited variety types.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. And I think the other thing too here is,
I have a
we're
lot of kings. kings jack suited. But anyways,
Yeah, so like we are, our two opponents have 35 bigs. We have 13. We're not looking to.
I
We're
don't
playing.
plan on folding.
Yeah, we're playing for chip EV, and even if we weren't, like this hand is strong, and we're gonna want to bet tiny here just to, like he should float us with some hands like could be 5-6 suited with back doors,
I
or he
also
could bluff with those. And it's like you want to induce action with
Well, and
those.
that's exactly my thought, Wes, and you just nailed it with that word, induce, right? I think
Mhm,
my hand is so strong in this board, and when I bet one big blind, it's it's gonna get attacked at a lot by aggressive opponents.
mhm.
Now, Professor, who's in the big blind, I've I have him labeled as an aggressive opponent. He's not actually on the screen labeled, but from what I've seen at this final table,
In your mind, you've labeled him,
yeah,
yeah.
he's willing to take spots. I saw him jam pre-flop multiple times with two shorter stacks. So ICM wise, he just didn't really care.
Mhm.
I didn't actually see him show down too much crap or anything like that so far, but I know he was aggressive.
Yeah,
So, Wes, I think you're batting 100% so far. I
not
bet
surprising.
he checks. I bet one big blind into 4.8. So it's Jack 4. I have pocket kings. Now our aggressive opponent does exactly what we want him to do. He raises.
Yeah.
He check raises.
I know it's only to 3.3, but that's actually kinda it's almost like a big raise on this board,
It is.
or with your stack, I should say.
I wouldn't be surprised if our opponents, like especially like really good opponents, made it like 2.7 here or something
Yeah,
like that.
totally,
You know what I'm
totally.
saying? Just a single
Our
click back.
our minds are actually very much in the same
Yeah.
we're following the same thought process in a lot of
Okay.
these hands.
Okay. Good. And that probably is because we talk a lot of poker together. But
Yeah,
anyways, I think we only have one option here.
fold.
I
Call.
love it. Yeah, call, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing is if he is bluffing, um, we're
He
just gonna
has no outs right now if he's bluffing.
if he's bluffing, he has no outs, and we're just gonna lose his action.
Yeah,
By calling, we keep all of his bluffs in, and if for some reason he has a jack, like we're just gonna lose it all to him anyways.
totally.
So by playing call here instead of jamming, a lot of I feel like amateur players might just jam and be like, "Oh, I didn't know, I didn't want to lose the hand."
Yeah.
We have all of the equity, or we have none of the equity. There's no in between.
Right. And so if he has a hand like one of those bluffs with backdoors, worst case scenario, if he picks up a perfect turn card and gets a combo draw, we're still like more than a 2-1 favor right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And at this point, say he has 5, 6 of clubs. So it's four clubs, jack of spades, jack of diamonds. Say he has 5, 6 of clubs. What is he? 5% equity?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something just
And
extremely
it's like
small.
if we get a bad card, like an 8 of clubs, that in a weird way, that's almost good too, because then he'll put in the rest of it.
Yeah. And I also have a club, so I'm not too worried about it. Obviously, there's a lot of other. He could have like 9, 8 of hearts or spades, which there's a
Yeah.
lot of different combinations of backdoor straight flush draws.
Yeah, like that's where his bluffs really come from, are all those. And who knows, maybe he just has an air ball and he's like, I'm gonna try and fold out queen high and king high
Yeah,
and run
yeah.
with
And
it.
I would bet the same thing with my ace queens,
With your
my entire opening
queens,
range.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you could have queen 7 of hearts here
Yeah,
very
exactly.
easily.
So I land on call. The turn comes the 3 of spades.
Mhm.
Brings in a backdoor spade flush draw.
Yeah, and if he does have the 5-6, it's open ended, but there are obviously a lot of different possibilities in
So
terms of
yeah. And now our opponent thinks for quite some time. Almost his whole time bank, obviously, as you can see here.
Mhm.
I'm screen capping, so you'll actually get to see all of all of the time he puts into it. And he lands on check after going through his first time bank. Um, this,
Interesting.
yeah. So this at this point, my thought is this: he was bluffing. He was just clicking. Like that's
Yeah,
where I'm feeling right now. I'm not, and I also think that he didn't pick up any backdoors because you would have continued.
yeah. So by that logic, you'd probably want to check again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think I actually misplayed here.
You bet tiny.
I bet really small.
Yeah.
So there's 11.48 bigs in the pot. I have 10.38 behind. So I have less than the stack to pot ratio.
Mhm.
Or I have less.
Less than a 1
Thank you.
SPR, yeah.
I decide to make it two big blinds, and I kind of regret this. We'll speed this up here. Yeah, we make it two big blinds, and our opponent just ends up folding. So
Yeah, it's if he had check raised a 4, like you could get a little more value from a 4 this way. But I kind of agree with your assessment where it's like now that you called and you're betting like this, because if you had ace high, you would just try and take your showdown.
Yeah, yeah. My hand is so nutted by betting like this, I feel like.
Mhm.
So I don't, and he understands that, and anyone understands it. So I think if I really want to get the maximum out of this, is I have to check this here because I'm not afraid of any. I mean, he doesn't have many aces in his range that
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
think I think one thing to point out is if he had an ace or if he had a pocket pair, he would have 3-bet jammed pre-flop.
Yeah. So we
Like, you're
kind of
just
removed
showdown
that
up.
stuff. So I mean, at this point, he's almost dead almost all the time.
He's probably drawing, like, dead
Yeah. Yeah.
the vast majority of the
Yeah.
time here.
So in hindsight, I think betting two here, even though it's a small bet and it looks, I mean, it was the wrong play. So I think that was probably my first pretty big mistake of the tournament. Not that it really mattered because he probably is giving up anyways at this point. I probably,
Yeah, but you wanna give him a chance to bluff, or maybe he'll
yeah. And
river a pair and he can call a bet.
for the same reason we just called on the flop, I should be checking back the turn,
Yeah.
kind of. So, anyways, I bet two bigs. He folds. Now, let's see here. I don't know if this was very interesting here. Sorry guys, bear with us here for a moment. We get to go through. Okay, so here we go. Professor button opens. Professor three bets from the small blind. Button jams. Professor folds. So I think Professor is trying to apply ICM pressure to the chip leader there.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where if you know someone's gonna open very wide, then you can 3-bet them wider
Yeah,
in a sense.
yeah. Um, we're getting kind of close to the end here now. It's three-handed, but we fold a bunch more times. Get through some crap here. Those two are just playing pots for a couple hands here. Now let's
You get
get
a walk, looks like.
let's get to the. You were actually wrong for the first time today. You're wrong. So, um, to the final hand of the tournament. Unfortunately,
Oh,
spoiler
okay.
alert. Uh, Button ends up folding. Small blind has 29 big blinds, and we have 15 big blinds in the big blind with ace 10 of clubs. Essentially, it's either 3-bet jam or call off, is my thought at this point.
Mhm.
I don't think we have any other option. Small blind jams. He has queen jack O with the jack of clubs, queen of spades. We have ace 10 of clubs, and the board runs out queen, 6-5, three hearts, jack of hearts. And I'm never in my life begged for hearts. So
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just chop this. I didn't even call for the king. I called for the chop.
Yeah.
Um,
But
yeah, the board
you
runs out,
lose.
not in our favor. We lose to queen jack, and we end up busting in third. So
Yeah, nothing you can do there. I mean,
yeah,
you have a very strong hand, and obviously you got it in good.
I mean, obviously, you've got my thoughts through this final table so far. Do you think off the top there was anything else I could have done differently? Do you, out of a 10, what would you have given me with a decimal point in there?
One no. Um, I think an 8.5 because I agree more with what you said now, where you want to check the kings back on the turn there.
Yep.
The only other difference is I would have opened slightly smaller with the aces, but I think your choice to open them was correct. So, like, yeah,
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
the
a little
main
bit.
thing was just I would have checked back the kings
Check
on
back
the
the kings
turn.
on the turn. Size down a little bit with the pocket aces
Pocket.
pre-flop from the small blind.
Yeah.
Other than those two things, was there? I mean, everything else seemed pretty standard to you.
Yeah, I liked it all. I even like the 10-9 of hearts one, I would think that over. Like, I don't
That
actually
was an
know,
interesting
but
spot, right? So
I
it's
think my mind followed the same process where I was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, I would bet small here usually, but if he jams, I have to fold.
yeah.
And I'm thinking like, I also don't want to check back 10 high. Like, what are the other options? And I
There's
sort
just
of was
not
like,
many, right?
I was like, if we go all in, we might get a lot more folds than a small bet. And if we get called, it's still fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, like I definitely prefer jamming that hand to betting small and either calling calling it off,
That's the last thing I
Or
wanna do is bet small and call off with 10 high. I'd rather
yeah,
just apply that ICM pressure by jamming and get him to fold hands that beat me.
yeah, because the worst case scenario in both of those is the same, but the best case is better in the sense that you get more folds.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, I think I think I would have ended up with the same result in that one.
Okay.
So
Well,
interesting
this is
thoughts
this
though.
is fun though. I really enjoyed doing a study sessions reviewing one of our final tables. Guys, if you enjoyed listening to this episode or watching this episode and want more content like this, let us know in our Discord. There'll be a link to join our Discord in the description. Wherever you're watching it, there'll be a link you can click. Join the Discord. We got episode feedback on there. We got hand reviewing on there. We got all that good stuff. So make sure to join our Discord. Say hi. If you're having trouble accessing the Discord in any way, please send us a message on Twitter, email, whatever it is. Just send us a message. We'll get you in there and included. So we want you guys to have access to that. Other than that, next week on Tuesday, come on, Wes.
12.
The 12th, thank you. On Tuesday, the 12th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, we're going to be having another Suited Kings meetup game. It's going to be a 55 sweeps coin tournament and then a 25-50 cent sweeps coin ring game. So the true 3-time champion is there and looking to get dethroned. Come and try.
Don't
please.
let this guy win again. I honestly don't know how much.
This Tuesday, I want a bigger turnout than normal. So please, let's get as many people in there as possible. If you're free this Tuesday evening, hop in there. I'll be in Discord ready to chat and talk some shit. So
Exactly.
Wes, I expect you in there as well.
Oh, I will be. And guys, if you I know in Minnesota we have a lot of like mixed game players. Clubs Poker is actually, it has a ton of different mixed games on there. And if you want to get in there and either practice or
It's a great
try
point.
and win, like get into Clubs Poker.
They have octo mix and everything. Like you can think of every mix game, and they have it from low stakes up to kind of medium stakes. I wouldn't say high stakes yet, but
For sure, yeah.
and
like
if you want to cut your teeth and learn these mixed games and get prepared for the World Series of Poker mixed game schedule next year,
it's
this
a
is
great way
spot.
to do it, yeah. And I mean, not to brag too much, but how about the high stakes, no limit hold'em games? Like I've been just
Yeah,
destroying
pat
those,
on the
dude.
back for Wes. He's
So if
been
you want
actually
to
killing
come
it
play
games.
against me,
Oh,
you can
here we
do
go.
that
Here
too.
we go. Wes is accepting donations, is what he's trying to say.
I
Here.
am,
So,
but
make sure to if you haven't signed up for Clubs Poker yet, in the description of this video or the podcast, wherever you're listening to this or watching it, there'll be a description with a referral link. So just click sign up using that link. That supports our podcast and all the content we make. So we really appreciate that, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday in that meetup game. Please get in there and dethrone me. So
if
also
Max wins a 4th out of 5 tournaments, I don't even know
yeah.
it's gonna.
And also,
honestly, maybe
there's
we need to record the podcast on Tuesday just so there's no possibility.
what
of
was
that.
the bounty we put on your head in that meetup game?
$50.
So there's a $50 bounty
for this next one.
on this next game for Wes, just his first entry, because you know he's going to be firing multiples. And I'm not trying to blow the bankroll on this
I
one.
think you busted me on both my bullets last time.
Are you surprised?
Okay.
All right. Wes, anything else I'm missing out here?
No, I mean, most importantly,
Oh, shout out to our boy Daniel Kennedy.
yeah,
Francis Xavier,
He's,
the Discord listener who won his second Eagle trophy last night and is tied for player of the series right now. So I'm going to be rooting for him to win that if I don't get another chance to get up to the top there.
that is pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out. Yeah, join in our meetup game. Can't let this guy win again.
Wes is
disgusting.
Wes is just drowning. And also a big happy birthday to you to when everybody's listening to this. I hope your big day, finally becoming a man from a baby. Is a big one. I really want it to be an enjoyable day for you.
That's so sweet.
Full of adult activities and all that good stuff. And there's Juno to say goodbye to everybody as well. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll sign off there and see you next week. Suited Kings podcast.